Hey there, welcome back to the daily. This is Adriana coming back to you for another day of practice as we continue on with our theme of the month, which is trust, faith, confidence. These three sort of shapes of trust or forms of trust that we find on the meditation cushion and that we're also working to develop on the meditation cushion. So I was thinking about a lunch that I had with my mother-in-law a couple of months ago before we were all sheltering in place. And she is a wonderful woman. I love her. She's great. She's, the kind of mother-in-law that I feel very lucky to have. Like we actually have a genuine friendship, which is nice. And she was talking about her friend, whom we will call Ellen, who gets into this kind of like compulsive cleaning spin when she feels really anxious. And she said, it's been like a really kind of particularly anxious week for Ellen. And so she's just been cleaning everything. She's been cleaning because, that is her exit. Cleaning is her exit. I was like, oh, exit, what is that? I've never heard that phrase before. And my mother-in-law said, your exit. Your exit is the thing that you do when it becomes too unbearable to just rest in your own skin, just to be in your own company. And as I thought about that, I was like, oh yeah, of course, your exit. I definitely have many exits. So I think we all have, plenty of exits. Anything from sort of like scrolling on the screen anytime that we're kind of just in this moment of like boredom or just kind of blah. Maybe for you, your exit is like eating or exercising can be an exit of kind of like, anytime that we're like sort of restless or just don't want to be in our own company, in our own skin. Cleaning, organizing. Organizing is one of my exits. Anytime that I'm very anxious, I'll start like color coding my books and lining them up by shape and size and just like very neurotic. So we all have exits, right? We all have these kind of exits that we take when we're just feeling like nothing is necessarily wrong, but we just don't want to be in our own company. It's just kind of dissatisfactory to be in our own skin. And I think the beauty of meditation practice, one of the many beauties of meditation practice, is that for at least the next 15 to 20 minutes, we are choosing not to take the exit, right? Instead of kind of turning away from any restlessness or discomfort that we might feel, we're actually turning towards it and making eye contact with it and saying, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to take the exit. And that is so lovely. That is such a lovely gift to give to ourselves. I mean, I think about my closest friends, right? The people in the world who I trust the most. And those are the people who I know no matter what happens, no matter what comes up for me, no matter what kind of state I'm in, that they're going to be there. They're going to have my back. And I think that a part of what we're sort of implicitly communicating to ourselves in meditation practice is that we have our own back. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to leave us. We're not going to abandon us no matter what kind of state we're in. We're not going to take the exit. So even if that wasn't necessarily your intention for being here, for practicing, it is one of those things that, I think is kind of implicit to a meditation practice, is that we're actually showing up for ourselves like the most trustworthy version of a friend we can possibly have. So wherever we happen to be, it's taking a moment to decide on our seat. And as always, just making sure that we feel really sturdy, our body's on board here. Giving ourselves a quick wiggle. And of course, if at any point you do need to shift your body, don't hesitate. My one ask, especially as we talk about not taking the exit, is that we just move our bodies and land, right? So rather than kind of doing that like half-hearted wiggle the whole time, like intentionally move your body, mindfully move your body, and then land back in that spot. So once we have found our seat, it's taking a moment here to decide on our gaze, eyes open or eyes closed, whatever feels honest for you today. And we'll take a few moments, as always, just to open practice by opening our senses, locating ourselves here in space, turning our attention over to sound. Just receiving the sound of the room that we're in. Staying open to sound, shifting the attention to touch. So really just feeling into our bodies here. The shape that the body makes. And that pressure of making contact. Texture of clothing on our skin. Temperature of the air. And so whatever space we find that we're occupying here, really just allow ourselves to occupy it fully. Take up space on the chair, the cushion. Dropping into the feet. Feeling the space between the toes. Texture of the socks, temperature of the air. Tracing the attention across the shin bones. Circling the kneecaps. Grazing through the thighs. Landing in the hips. Moving the attention to the belly. The chest. It's taking a few moments here in the belly, the chest. Maybe even giving ourselves a light temperature check here. Noticing if there's anything that feels particularly active or alive in this space in the body. Any residual mood or emotion that we're walking in with. Just getting an honest read. If there's anything that we're bringing into practice today. It's a sense of what we're working with. It's all grist for the mill. Continuing to rest here in the front body. It's establishing contact with the body, breathing. Tip of the nose, back of the throat, belly. Continuing to ride the cycle of breath as it moves in the body today. It's continuing in that singular instruction. that as the mind wanders, which it naturally will, it's noticing when we've left our breathing, acknowledging what captures our attention, and then gently, firmly coming back to the breath in the body. So again, if we find ourselves drifting here, maybe entirely out at sea, again, no big deal. It's just that light touch of recognition and feeling the body breathe. So at this point in practice, there's a decent likelihood that we've gotten a pretty clear sense of our quality of mind today. Again, just getting that front row view of our own mind, our own interior state. Perhaps we find that we're practicing with a particularly speedy mind or restless mind, busy mind, planning mind, spacey mind. Whatever quality of mind we find that we're working with, seeing if we can soften any edge of self-aggression, this sense that it should somehow be different or better, whatever that means. Just allowing ourselves to practice with our mind as it is, sincerely at this moment. And again, when we drift, no big deal. In that tiny gap of recognition, just acknowledging where we've landed and feeling the body breathe. And again, wherever we happen to find ourselves, feeling our bodies in space, breath inside the body, and resting here. So each time that we return, each time that we usher our attention back, we are implicitly communicating that we're not going to take the exit. We're not going to turn away from ourselves. That we're choosing to stay right here, whatever arises. That might even be something to rejoice in. Take heart. I'm here. Just this. And again, walking the attention back, feeling the shape of the body here in space, that pressure of making contact. And again, really allowing ourselves to be here, take up space on the cushion. Feeling the vacillation of breath in the body. Just allowing ourselves to rest. This is it. Nowhere else. And then in our final few moments of practice here, perhaps just reconnecting to what it is that brought you here. Why yes? Why make the effort show up? And closing out with a little sweetness, maybe just extending some thanks towards ourselves for taking the time, making the space, holding space for ourselves, and treating our own company and attention like it matters. And then as you're ready, just allowing formal practice to drop, coming back in together, at your own pace, no rush. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for practice. How lovely. How lovely. How lovely to just take 15, 20 minutes today and hold space for yourself. Again, showing up like a trustworthy friend to ourselves from ourselves. It's a simple thing, but it's a really kind of easily overlooked or easy to back burner kind of thing to do. So I hope that you're really feeling good about that and taking that in. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you back on the cushion tomorrow.